Okay, now we did our practice sheet, and so now we're ready to put this on our actually watercolor paper right here. I don't typically use a pattern, but feel free to use yours. I think that's easiest when you're first beginning. I did, but now I'm more comfortable that I don't have to do that. So keeping your, using your brush, filling it up with the green and fresh foliage, thicket fresh foliage, I'm going to draw my heart here. Have the light color leading again. I'm going to start down here and I'm going to draw this heart, and I'm going to pull this down. And if it's a little wide like this, that's okay. Now again, my tip's dry, so I'm going here and get the nice chisel edge. Pick up the greens again. You know, and you can use any kind of greens you want. Just my favorite is fresh foliage and thicket. Okay, and wipe off the excess. Okay, with a light color leading again, I'm going to come across here and bring that on around. And I'm going to cross the tails down at the bottom. Just gives it more of a natural look. We're kind of looking for a little old-fashioned vine. So I'm getting my chisel edge, picking up the greens, wiping off a little bit of the excess. I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm going to be crossing just like we did in our practice. Cross, holding your brush up and reminding to keep your elbow off the table so you've got room to move. Okay, so we're going to go back again. I'm going to go to the other side, do the same thing. I'm picking it up and I'm crossing. Remember, the harder you push down, the wider the line gets. The lighter you hold it in your hand, the more narrow the line is. Okay, getting my chisel again. Picking up more paint. See, it's important to pick more paint up every time. Okay, this time I'm going to do one more set of lines, light color leading again. I'm going to just kind of cross in between where I've already crossed. And we're going to bring it down and just bring that around like that. Okay. Keep in mind that anytime you have a question when you're painting this, just email me and I will get back with you just as soon as possible. Okay? I'm going to do this again on this side and just crossing over. There we go. I hope you're seeing that well. Okay, going back, getting my chisel edge. I'm pushing down because I had quite a bit of paint in there. And if you push the paint down, that takes all that excess paint out, so you don't have a big glob in there. Okay, now this time I'm going to add a few little wispies to mine. And I'm going to start down here, and remember I'm going off on a curve, so I'm bringing that one down, leaning my brush back a little bit. See how I lean my brush back? See, I just lean it back. So you're using this little motion. It's kind of like a sweeping motion or a combing motion. Okay, getting more. Sometimes on these wisps, you really don't have to go back and pick up any more paint. You've got it right there. So when you start to put that wisp in, I'm going to move this over just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to start back here on this curve, and I'm going to pull in and go right over, and I'm pulling it in. Did you see me how I did that? Keep coming down here. I'm going to do another one. This one's going to the outside. You didn't see that one very well. Let me come right back over. Coming down, and I'm putting that, leaning my brush back, staying on the tip, getting nice curves. Coming down like this, off of the curve, leaning my brush back, and there we go. We're putting in those little wispies. You don't want to overdo it. You know, less is more, they say sometimes. But it's nice to put a few of these in. You can always go back later and put some more in. When you're all done, if you think you need some more, you can do that. You see that? See how I'm keeping my... I'm holding way up on my brush, and I've got my arm off the table. That's what allows me to put in all these little wispies. You don't want to start here and come across. You want to pull them down and pull them in. And sometimes I like a few more down here at the bottom. See, I'm still starting back. Okay, so we have lots of little wispies. I might even come back here and give a little finer detail. I don't like the way this looks right here where it's kind of gloppy. Let me just focus that in for you so you can see. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'm loading my brush up. I'm not going to dip any more paint. I'm just using what's on my plate. I'm going to have my light color lead. I'm starting back here, and I'm just going to pull some of that out. So I got some of the wisp and still maintain, but it's just a little lighter color, and it's okay that that's dark right in there because we're going to be putting some flowers in there anyway. Okay, well, now we're ready to go ahead and rinse your paintbrush out. And we're going to stop right here for a minute, and then we're going to start working on our daisy. So be sure to rinse your paintbrush out really well.